Hartford was in urgent need of a new spleen. Well, Mr. Hartford has given us all the details of his blood group. We know the exact type of spleen he's needing. We know precisely how long we have to play with, so let's waste no more time as we get on and try to find that spleen in this week's edition of Challenge Anna.
Yes, indeed. Last week, you may remember, we had to find a kidney donor for Mrs. Hawthorne of West Bromwich, and in our search to find one, we left no stone unturned. Super. But today, the hunt is on for a human spleen. Our phone number, if you think you can help, is
08000090003.
That number again, if you missed it.
0898654.
Terrific. So, with just 30 minutes on the clock, let's see how Anna reacts to her challenge.
Well, Mike, still no sign of the challenge, so, let me introduce you to the crew. Well, this is, Tony, my, sound man. Kind of cute, isn't he? And, this is Greg, my cameraman. And I think that's quite enough of that, Greg. Get the camera.
Miss Anna Depter from the challenge program.
Oh, yes. Have you got a challenge for me?
I think you might be interested in this.
Your dry cleaning will be ready on Thursday.
No, not that. This.
Your challenge this week, Anna, now this is more like it, is to find a spleen donor for a patient who's in urgent need of a transplant and get him to the Royal Marplan Hospital. God, how am I going to get a spleen? What a terribly delicate thing to ask. Right, here goes. Excuse me, sir, have you got a spleen?
Yes.
Well, not anymore. And can we see?
Well, Anna adopting her usual softly approach there. But let's just look at how long she's got. Yes, I think this clock is going the wrong way, in fact. Yes, that's better. So Anna has just 33 minutes now to go. That's just 3 minutes longer than she had at the start of the programme. But that gives me the opportunity to explain the setup here. First of all, we have the most important man of all in this programme, Mr. Reginald Hartford, who is, of course, in such urgent need of that spleen. Very good of you to agree to play, Mr. Hartford.
Nothing to do with me. Don't know what the hell's going on. My wife said we may get some money for...
Super. We'll be back to you very shortly, sir. Then there's our resident doctor and alleged humorist, Dr. Philip Persiger, who will be explaining the serious medical risks and implications of spleen transplants in a wry blend of comic one-liners and musical anecdotes. Welcome, Philip.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Mike. Yes.
Incredibly funny. Over here we have Mike Flex with a set of encyclopedias ready to pick out points of interest as we go along.
Oh, hi, Mike. Yes, that's right. For instance, did you know that KYTV was the biggest and best satellite station in the world?
Really?
Well, that's what it says here, Mike.
Extraordinary.
And incidentally, these encyclopedia, edited by our chairman, Sir Kenneth Yellowhammer, and compiled by Martin Brown, are available on Sofa Shop. And a word about this shirt, Mike.
Disgusting. Over here, we have, as you can see, a selection of maps and models of the countryside, which Debbie here, our geographical expert, well, O-level anyway, will be in charge of. Debbie, the scale of this model.
Yes?
It's,
Is it? Where?
good. Well, we'll be coming back to you later, Debbie, maybe. And maybe we won't.
Hi, I'm Anna from the Challenge program. I've got this impossible task. I was wondering if you could help me.
No.
I was wondering if I could ask for your help.
Yes, it looks rather like you can, doesn't it? Anna! Anna!
Oh, hello! Who are you?
I'm from Cuthbert and Emberley. We run a bottle recycling factory in Caterham, and I rushed here as soon as I heard about your appeal.
Yes, we're looking for a spleen donor, in fact.
Yeah, well, never mind. Did I mention Cuthbert and Emberley, by the way?
Yes, I believe you
and
did.
Emberley, we have got a lot of bottles.
Great! Excuse me, I was wondering if you could help me.
Sure, what do you want?
No.
Never mind, I'll ask someone else.
Oh, can you help us?
Yes, probably. What do you want?
That's fabulous. Thank you so much. We really are terribly grateful to you. What's your name, by the way?
Dave. What's he doing?
Well, just a blood test.
Blood test? What for?
Oh, well, nothing. Just a small spleen, that's all.
Hang on a minute. I need me spleen.
Oh, no, you don't.
What do I get?
Well, the satisfaction of knowing that you're helping someone.
Bollocks to that.
Oh, all right then. Well, you get a night out for two at the Poco Club in Southport.
Get your scissors out then.
You may have noticed, just in passing then, a man from Caterham. And according to my KYTV encyclopedia here, the name Caterham is a contraction of the old name St. Leonards-on-Sea. The Saint part becoming C in the great vowel shift, and the Leonards-on-Sea bit over the years becoming Aterum. Hence, Caterham. So, an incredible explanation there.
yes, totally. Tremendous news for you there, Mr. Hartford, that Anna has found you a spleen donor.
Oh, fantastic.
What, however, is not such good news for you is that the man responsible for getting you to the hospital is Martin Brown.
I can get there myself, actually.
Yes, I'm sure you can, Mr. Hartford, but that would rather spoil the game for everyone, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And, of course, Martin, as always, will be doing it against the clock. And as always on Challenge Anna, Martin has no idea of where he's going. In fact, that's true most of the time, actually, but especially on this programme, because both you and he will be blindfolded. Possibly even a help in his case. So, Mr. Hartford, if you'd like to put on your blindfold. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, Martin, put on your blindfold. Right, now get into the helicopter. Remember not to go round the front of the helicopter, Martin. Yes, go round the front, that's a better idea. Mr. Hartford there, obviously looking forward to his first flight in a helicopter. And away they go. Mike? Mike? Great. Well, Martin there, not exactly off to a flying start. More off to a stumbling around the field with a blindfold on sort of a start, really. Mike?
Well, back here in the map room, we have our...
Map.
Yes, thank you, Debbie. Our map to help plot the courses of Anna and Martin. Yeah, thank you. here, as you can see, to represent Anna, we have a rather lovely figurine of Anna. And to denote Martin, we have this piece of lead piping. Doesn't look anything like him, but does have roughly the same density.
Let's just check on Anna's progress so far. So, not exactly breaking the land speed record at the moment. Is she, Debbie? Mike, any pieces of historical interest?
No, Mike, she's certainly not.
Super. Mike, any pieces of historical interest so far?
Well, you may have seen a sign saying Turkey Farm in the background there. Well, according to this, the word turkey has a fascinating origin. A tur was a kind of magic tower in Anglo-Saxon times, and it was discovered that the only thing that could open the tower gate was the head of a large chicken. Interesting. The head was rammed into the keyhole and turned, and the door sprang open. Thus, the chicken acted as the key to the tur, or tower, and hence was renamed Turkey.
Well, I believe the helicopter has come back and picked Martin up, so let's see how they're doing. Hello, Martin. Any idea how close you are to touching down?
I'll just check.
Martin?
The pilot's not quite sure, Mike.
Well, he should be able to see the stopping off point from here.
I'm sorry, I thought the pilot was supposed to wear a blindfold as well.
Take it off him, Martin.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I think this may be a good point to see how far Anna's got in her specially customised KY Super Buggy.
Well, Mike, the buggy has just broken down. We need a new camshaft. I don't know where we're going to get one in time. Hello?
Hello, Anna. This is Dave Bradley of Bradley's Motors.
Hi, Dave.
I'm phoning to say we specialise in camshafts.
Amazing. So you're going to replace ours?
No, just wanted to have a bit of free advertising.
Well, I'm sorry to leave Anna there, mid-chocolate, but I understand that Martin has finally landed, as has the helicopter shortly afterwards. Martin, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
What can you see?
Well, it's very dark. I can just make out some dark hills, I think.
Yes, Martin, you've still got your blindfold on, haven't you?
Yes?
Yes. Well, take it off.
Oh, all right.
Now what can you see?
Well, I'm in a field, Mike.
Any distinguishing features?
Yes, I've got a birthmark just above my knee.
Any distinguishing features about the field?
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see a gate, Mike.
Right. Well, go through the gate.
I'll go through the gate. No, I can't open it, Mike.
Well, climb over it.
Right, I'll climb. No, it's not working, Mike. It's not working. I've got an idea. Right. Okay, Colin. Yes, off you go. Right, now, Mike, I'm filming Colin the cameraman going over the gate, okay?
Oh, marvellous, yeah.
No, Mr. Hartford. No, go over the gate. Come back round. Over the gate.
Well, while you're filming everyone going backwards and forwards over the gate, let's take a commercial break.
I became
me happy to know my music's being used to sell jeans. If you're cooking in the home with a small child near you, don't pour boiling water over them. Pouring hot liquids on small children is dangerous. Think.
Yes.
That was another blindingly obvious public information fair.
Dr. Persigo, time ticking by. What, in your professional opinion, what sort of state do you think Mr. Hartford's intestines will be in now?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not too sure myself, actually.
So you don't know where the spleen is?
No, I'm more on the joke-telling barbershop quartet side of the medical profession.
Well, things are moving at a pretty frantic pace now, so let's go over to Martin and see if he's managed to climb over that gate yet.
No, we're in a car now, Mike.
Oh, that's very resourceful of you, Martin. You hired a car, then?
No, it was just sitting outside the shop with the keys in the ignition.
Really? And where exactly are you now?
We're just off the A43. Oh, quite a long way off, in fact. You dropped your bag.
Okay, well, Mike, you and Debbie have been plotting Martin's course. How close is he to the hospital now?
Well, let me put it this way. If this orange was the planet Earth, then Martin would be the equivalent of being in Rio de Janeiro.
Debbie, we'll be coming back to you very shortly. Anna, any cause for even faint hope with you?
Well, we're just trying to jump-start the buggy, Mike. Come on, Greg. Give us a push. Oh, give up, Dad. Remember, go, love.
Well, I'm sure Anna and Greg will meet up again before too long. In the meantime, let's check on Mr. Hartford, our trusty patient's state of health. Mike?
Yes, well, we've been monitoring his condition throughout this program, of course, and a quick look at his heart chart shows us that his blood pressure is currently just 47. And don't forget, of course, if it drops below 34, KYTV will be giving away 500 copies of Kylie Minogue's latest album to the first viewer who phones in.
Super. Let's go back and see how Anna's getting on.
Greg! Oh, my God, he's pissed. Oh, come on! Oh, try and get another arm. Oh. Will you get back to your camera? Put that down! Come on! Quick, don't cut me!
Well, I don't know how many of you noticed that picture of a mistletoe tree in the pub. Certainly I don't think Greg will have, but it does have an extremely interesting derivation. Now, it comes from the ancient Anglo-Saxon custom of giving some kind of love token to your loved one. Nowadays, it's a ring. In Anglo-Saxon culture, it was the middle toe of the left foot. Hence the term mistletoe, deriving from the original Anglo-Saxon missing toe. Under the hanging plant, you would reveal to your loved one that you were missing a toe, at which point she would take you in her arms, embrace you, and the severed toe would be handed over between the teeth in a kiss as a gesture of love. And the habit went out of fashion when people started cutting off other people's toes as a good excuse for a quick snog.
Well, I understand Martin has managed to find a medical expert who is willing to talk to him.
So, Mr. Doctor, who do you think is the best person to perform a spleen transplant?
Well, I'd say the most experienced surgeon in that field is probably Mr. Excuse me. Do you mind?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I just thought it'd be more interesting, that's all. Just a minute. Who's filming us now? Who are you? What are you doing in here?
Well, we're doing something.
Never mind all that. This is our shoot. What are you doing here? Who's filming us now? What are you doing here? Fuck off. Hang on. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Well, there can be very few television programs that can boast 7 International Emmy Awards and 3 BAFTA nominations, and KYTV's Brazilian soap opera Olé certainly isn't one of them. Nevertheless, now is your 7th and final chance to see today's episode tran-dubbed and slated as ever by KYTV.
Pregnant? Gosh, what a surprise. Are you sure?
I saw a doctor today.
Which doctor? Which doctor?
Dr. Smith. An aperitif?
Are you sure? You should be drinking a bottle a day now you're pregnant. Are you sure you should be drinking a bottle a day now you're pregnant? Oh, there's something you haven't asked me yet, Bertrand.
What's that, old girl?
Whether you're the father.
You mean I'm not the child's father?
I think I may be pregnant by Reginald. Damn! It's Reginald's child, then.
Yes.
Not another drop. Darling,
Yes?
I want you to be his father, Bertie.
Take that.
How could you think of such a thing?
Suggérez uma coisa dessas.
Welcome back, and a quick look at Mr. Hartford's heart chart shows that he is still breathing. So, bad news for all you Kylie Minogue fans. Anna!
Well, Mike, we're doing very well. We're actually on our way to the hospital now. So we should get there.
Oh, and I'm going to have to stop you there, Anna, because, of course, that buzzer means it's time to
Spin the wheel, spin the wheel, spin the wheel.
Yes, just when you thought it was all going so well, it's time to spin the wheel and see what added obstacle the deadly dial here can put in Anna's way.
Of course, last week, as you may remember, Anna had to get 50 blind musicians from Carlisle to the Royal Albert Hall in time to perform Mahler's Fourth Symphony in front of a specially invited audience of deaf children. And, of course, all was going so well until we spun that deadly dial, and then, of course, all the musicians, if you remember, had to get there on skateboards.
A lot of fun there. Yeah. So what does the dastardly digit have in store for us tonight?
number of options it could land on, but it looks like it's coming to rest on Vanilla Surprise, which means, Anna, you now have to get Mr. Saunders there to the hospital in the back of an ice cream van.
Dave, obviously looking forward to that then.
In the meantime, let's catch up with Martin Brown. Martin?
Yes, hang on, Mike, hang on.
Where are you, Martin?
Yes, I just asked Mike. Hello, where are we? I think we're in Cornwall, Mike.
And now the greatest race the world has ever seen. Anna Dancer and Martin Brown have to find that spleen.
So, with only minutes to go then, Anna is here, closing in fast on the hospital, and Martin is here.
So, Anna, have you reached the hospital yet?
I'm afraid we've been thwarted, Mike.
Oh dear, is it the results of Dave's blood test?
No, Mike, it started raining and I'm not going to get my hair wet.
Anna, you've only got 10 minutes to get into the hospital.
Well, never mind, Mike. I think I found something useful.
What's that?
It's a wine bar. We can sit in there till it clears up a bit.
Well, I believe Martin Brown is still somewhere on the continent. The perfect place, of course, to look for the Royal Marplan Hospital in Dorking.
Yes, indeed, Mike, yes. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Martin Brown. Qui êtes-vous?
Qui bitte?
Pardon?
Bitte?
Peter. Oh, hello, Peter. Bonjour, Peter.
Sie sind Französisch.
Pardon?
Sie sprechen Deutsch.
He's got a funny accent. I don't know what he's saying, in fact. Je cherche l'hôpital de Royal Marplan.
Sie sprechen Deutsch, bitte.
No, ce n'est pas Peter, c'est Martin Brown.
Kenn ich nicht Französisch.
Ken, is it Ken, my lovely? Ken, my lovely. Come on, Mr. Hartford, keep your bag up. Thank you very much, Franz. Come on, Mr. Hartford.
Well, I think we'll leave Martin there, doing his bit for the EEC, getting us out of it, that is. Let's see if Anna's made any more progress.
Hello? Is that Tony Blackburn?
Yes, yes.
Hi, Tony. It's Anna here from the Challenge Anna program. We've got to get somebody to hospital for a vital transplant operation, and we need your help.
Certainly. Well, what do you want me to do?
We want you to pay for the operation.
Oh, goodbye.
So, Dr. Persigo, any advice on what to do when they reach the hospital?
Hospital. Now, I'm sure I've heard that one before.
Oh, dear.
This is it! I'm Anna from the Challenge program. I was wondering if you could help me. Now, I know this sounds like a crazy request, but we've got to find an ice cream van to transport a patient, don't ask me why, to the Royal Marplan Hospital. And I was wondering if you could see your way to taking us, I can't believe I'm asking this question, to the hospital. It would be brilliant if you could, do you think, maybe?
You're calm.
No, you need to borrow the van for your
Liking it, you know?
No, I don't want an ice cream.
That's what we've got.
No, we're just needing to borrow the van to take
get the patient to the hospital, and it was just 15 minutes away.
So, Anna well on her way, and I gather Martin has been picked up by his helicopter again.
You kept me over there.
And the last thing we heard, he and Mr. Hartford were just coming in over Dover Castle. Where are you now, Martin?
Hello, Mike. We've decided to abandon the helicopter. Or rather, vice versa.
Right, well, look, Martin, I've got a clue. In the water by the rushes lies a craft with oars that you shall take.
All right. So I'm looking for a bus, am I, Mike?
So, Anna, how are you doing?
Well, we're very near the hospital, Mike.
That's great.
The only problem is we've nearly run out of chopped flakes.
Right, well, to find the hospital, you first got to find the town war memorial.
War Memorial, right? What's the name of the hospital again, Mike?
The Royal Marplan.
I think we've just passed it, Mike.
Never mind that, Anna. Just find the war memorial and I'll direct you from there. Now, do you know where you are now?
We're just outside the Royal Marplan Hospital.
Oh, God, this is going to be difficult. Then I've got to give you these directions in reverse. Right. Go down the hill, turn left, then right, and it's 100 yards behind you.
Right, off we go.
Martin, where are you?
Actually, I've been talking, Mike.
Oh, right. How is Mr. Hartford?
I'm exhausted. I'm nearly drowned and I need a new spleen.
But otherwise okay.
Mike, we're here! Right, I'm running into the hospital now. I only hope we get there on time.
So, with seconds to go, and with Martin and Anna finally at the hospital, let's find out exactly where they both are.
They're both at the hospital, Mike.
Yes, and where's that, Debbie?
Dorking.
Splendid. And what can you tell us about Dorking, apart from the fact that it begins with D and ends in G, and presumably has a couple of discos in it?
It's built on igneous rock and was first colonized by the Romans in 52 BC when it was christened Urbs Pulcher. It became a major urban conurbation after the Enclosure Act, and its industrial infrastructure...
Yes, fine. Thank you, Debbie.
Oh, and it's got 2 discos.
Right. Well, let's go back to Martin, who I gather has excitingly reached the hospital where he was 2 minutes ago.
Come on, Greg, this is it! Oh! Hi, I'm Anna. Can you tell me where operating theatre number 2 is?
It's the old front. Next door.
Greg, come on!
Okay, well, under 2 minutes left on the clock for Anna and Martin to meet up. Well, I suppose that counts as meeting up. Tremendous.
Everyone's a winner, babe, on KYTV.
Well, that's another challenge Anna successfully completed.
Well, not quite completed, Anna. No, with just 90 seconds to go, it's that time again to
Spin the wheel, spin the wheel, spin the wheel.
It's Dr. Anna, which means, yes, with just over 1 minute to go, you have to perform the operation yourself.
Bloody Nora.
The producers of this program would like it to be known that since this recording, Mr. Harford has made a speedy and complete recovery, and they would like to offer him their sincerest congratulations, as they would like to offer their sincerest commiserations to the relatives of Mr. Saunders, whose